think this is how your life would go? Never mind. Don't answer that.
Okay. All right, perfect. We are set. We are posted. So we are ready to go. This is Brigadier General Valkyrie of the SMC Spectre Mercenary Company Milsim, and I have Raw's Revelations, and today we're going to be going over his BCT. So you've got all your settings sorted out. You've got your weapon sorted out. We did that prior to. So, just a bit of background before we go into it. Your basic combat training, or BCT, is the standard used by us at the SMC to determine if you have the necessary skills to join us, and if you don't, where we can improve the skills that you need improvement on. So, as a standard, you are going to pass this. It is not a question of if, it is a question of when, okay? Just one. So, it's going to consist of multiple skill testing exercises such as communication, building clearing, firearm proficiency, halo jumping, your ability to work under pressure with minimal equipment, and stuff. So the entirety of the BCT will take somewhere between 90 to 120 minutes. That is max. That is max. It could take it ideally will not take longer than that. Again, depending on real life situations, it may, but it should also take less than that. At the culmination of the training, the participants or yourself will be graded on your performance by the attending training officer and recommended for a rank of either Private or Private 2. And if you show exceptional skill in all areas and hit everything I want to see, you'll be granted the rank of PFC. Currently, we only have one of those. Just making sure you have everything. So as far as your weapons and your pistol, just make sure that your pistol has 9 rounds. Yep, it's the only thing. And that's good enough. That'll work. You just need 9. And the only items that you're going to be permitted to use are a canteen, binoculars, and Mark I syringes. You can keep everything else on your item wheel if you want, but you're only permitted to use those 3 items. Make sense? Yep. Perfect. All right. Very quick before we leave, for the purposes of BCT, just one sec. So for the purposes of BCT, and again, this will change depending on who you're playing with, your squad leaders, your platoon leaders, etc. For the purposes of this, we'll be numbered. So I'll be number 1, you'll be number 2. If I say 2, go do something, that's going to be you, etc. So, big thing about this is I want to hear a lot of communication. There's a lot of communication that has to be done with us. And again, if you're not used to it, you will get better at it. And it's entirely for the reason I'm going to explain once we get outside. So, 1 moving out. Good. So, a couple things that we're going to go over. Again, very, very easy. Is 2 formations and then road crossing. So the formations are column and staggered. Pretty simple. If you played most games, there's probably a variation of these that you've done. Column is just a line. You stand in front of each other, or whatever it is, you stand in a line with the number 1 person, or whoever happens to be the point man leading the team, anybody else standing behind them. So that's pretty easy. And we'll use this area for just demoing it. So we do this for everyone. So what we've got right now is a column. Very easy for movement. For staggered, general rule of thumb, and what everybody uses, the number 1 and the number 3 person The number 1 and the number 3 person stay still. The number 2 and the number 4 person move across the road. So, if I say I want stagger formation, you're the number 2, exactly. You would just move over. Give it about 45-degree angle on your teammates. Gives you advanced fields of fire. And you don't have to worry about, like in a call information, trying to move past each other to shoot a target. So it's a little bit better tactically. It depends on the situation. It's entirely on your team leader what they want to do. Perfectly fine. So, other thing to keep in mind, again, as a general rule of thumb, the point man is responsible for everything 180 degrees in front of them. The rear guard, in this case that's you, as the number 2 and the only other person, is responsible for the same thing, but behind us. All that area is yours. You check our 6, you make sure we're good. If you hear anything, you call it out, you make sure the team lead knows, because all that has to go into a tactical plan that the team lead has to make. My best example, if we're on a highway, you see a vehicle behind us, team lead, have a vehicle approaching from the rear, they may not want to engage. So they may tell you, get down. That's entirely up to them. At the end of the day, team lead makes a call, you'll follow it. Okay? Just one moment. Alright, so those are those 2 formations. Last thing to check, you can come on back and call information. Perfect. So, column formation, yeah, we'll just use this part right here. So, alright. So when crossing a road, what I want to see over time and get more and more prevalent is tactical crossing. So in a team of 4, ideally I would show this with a team of 4, but as we have a team of 2, that's fine, we can work with that. You can do this with any pair of operators. So I'm looking west, you're looking, east, northeast. We've got both our sections covered. Simply cross over with whenever you're ready to go. So for me, if I'm leading, I'll say, for example, one's got west covered, one crossing over. If we're only 2 of us, we can do it at the same time. Depending on how and then you would do the same thing, 2 crossing over, holding rear. Whatever, something like that. Now, if you had 4 people, what you would do is the front and the rear person, the point man, the rear guard, they don't move, they hold position. They cover the roads while the middle people move over. And then those middle people will cover whoever they're closest to. So the 2 will cover 1, 3 will cover 4, then everybody crosses. If you have 3 people, the number 3 person, or the middle person, they cross, and then they just pick a side. They pick either the rear or the front. And then they let that person know, I'm covering your area so they can cross over. Then that person has to cover the other area so the last person can go. Same concept, you just modify it based on the numbers that you have. That all make sense? Awesome. Alright, let's get to the helo. 1 moving. Alright. Gonna remove suppressors for now. We don't need these at the moment. Alright. 1 by helo. So, when getting into a vehicle, helicopter, whatever it is, I don't care when you get in. What I care about is where you get in. So our positions are pilot, left 1, left 2, co-pilot, right 1, right 2. The reason for that, and this will come into play later, and I'll explain more when we get to that point, is because when you go and when you tell me where you're at, for example, I use that information as a team leader to determine a plan for halo jumping, which we'll get to once we get to halo jumping. So the only thing that I want to hear, anybody can get on at any point. You just got to let me know where you are, and I can make that decision when we get to wherever we're going for the base. So 1 in pilot seat. Perfect. So if I needed you to jump somewhere first, I'd call maybe you first, and then maybe I'd call right 1 or right 2, whoever happened to be where. All it is for the tactic purposes. Alright, so we're going to be heading to Alpha. We'll do a couple, we do breaching training there, do some very basic breaching, and then we go pretty much right into the BCT where you get to show off what you're doing, what skills you got. So, while we're on the way there, a couple other things you can do for advanced tactics. If you want to do it, you do not have to. Keep in mind, I do, and I do it pretty consistently, is the use of bearings. So, north is 0 and 360 degrees, east is 90, south is 180, west is 270. So, for example, heading towards Alpha right now, my best guess, obviously we don't actually have the numbers on the mini compass there, bearing 250 degrees southwest. If you want to say that stuff, fantastic. I love hearing that stuff. I don't require it, but it is nice to hear. That's if you want to do that extra level, those extra tactics. No, that and that's fine. Like I said, if you do missions with me, I say it all the time. I'm always like, I want you to head bearing 235 degrees southwest, which is pretty much directly down the middle southwest. So, all right, approaching on Alpha, 500 meters. Right. Descending on Alpha. Pilot out and holding. Alright. Now we got audibles, but I'm believe bearing 110 degrees southeast. Nope. Copy. Let's engage. Target's down. Kill. Good kill. Good work. Good kills. Alright. So the last thing that we get into before we go into breaching is the 3Ds. The 3Ds are the way that we use, that you'll tell the squad leader where things are. They are description, direction, distance. What is it? Where is it? How far away is it? So for example, right now you can see Hilo. So that would be Hilo approaching from the southwest, approximately 200 meters. Then we'll get down. Alright, not gonna engage this. So that's an example of the 3Ds. Now, sometimes you won't know distance. For example, I got no idea how far that thing is exactly. I'm guesstimating about 200 to 300 meters. The primary points of information that I want is what the thing is that's approaching and from what direction. We might be behind, we might all be, say, together in a squad, and you might be on my left for whatever reason. If you say a target's over there, well, that's cool for you. I don't know where there is. But if you say, rifleman southwest over there, that makes more sense. That's a standard direction. Gives me a little bit more of an idea of where things are. Make sense? Perfect. All right. One moving up to building. All right. One holding. Okay, perfect. So, going to be covering two different types of breaches. One is a staggered breach, excuse me, and the other is a wing breach. So, staggered breach, I'm going to get you to go on that side, roughly behind the sign. So, with a staggered breach, in an ideal situation, we have 4 people. We have a team of 4. So, 1 on the left, 2, 3, 4. Same as a stagger formation. So it's real easy. You always know what side you're going to be on. So, again, in a perfect situation, the point man, whoever's leading, is going to have flashbangs. What you can do, if you want to do this, is get ready with a flash that you can throw into a room, and then you would breach after that. Now, I understand not a lot of areas you might need that. For example, if you're clearing civilian houses, you might not need a flashbang because you know it's clear. You don't have to flash a room, but you can if you want. I'll explain what the bit on our resources is for that later, but that is an option for you. Or you can just as easily breach. Now, this is also, again, very easy to understand. The person that breaches, and by breaches, sorry, I mean flashes, or is the first person, say, to call that we're going to be breaching, the next person is the one that actually starts the breach. So for me, I have flashes. I could throw a flashbang in, but what I would do is I would get you to breach first. Because after I throw my grenade, you're already looking at the door. My job is then to cover your 6, so nothing comes up behind you while you breach, and then I can follow you. So in a team of 4, let's say number 1, 2, and 3 didn't have flashbangs, but number 4 did. Well, your side would actually start the breach. The number 4 person would say, got flashes, cooking, throwing, breach. Then you would just keep going through the numbers in sequence. So if 4 threw it, then the number 1 person would breach, then the number 2, then the number 3, then followed by the number 4. You just follow the numbers in sequence 1 through 4. And it always goes off based on who would be the one either throwing the flashes or the one that would be initiating the breach first. Typically that's going to be the point man, but you never know. Your team leader might decide something different based on your class. Very easy concept, so we'll give it a shot. I will do it with flashes just so we have the chance to do it. So, 1 prepping, 1 cooking flash, flash out. Make sure you call out everything you can. Copy. 1 breaching in, 6 covered, helo approaching from northeast, gone southwest. Copy. Good. So, alright. So what I want to see is I want to see you pop in and make as many call-outs as you can. So when you do any kind of call-outs, that's, open doors, windows, adjacent rooms, things like that, that a team leader would need to know to make a tactical plan. So for example, if this door was here, you would have called in, say, door on west wall, open. Something like that. That lets a team leader know that, hey, there's a threat here. That's a problem. So, and then they could tell you, I want you guys to hold and stack, all that stuff. Make sense? Okay, so so while you're here, is there anything in this room that you think that you would need to call out to a team lead? Just the door? Alright. Yep. Okay. Just give me one moment. Yeah, you just sit tight for just a second. Just gotta check something out here. Alright. You sure there was nothing? Come on over and pick me up. I'll show you what happened. And then you can hear yourself afterwards. That is done for a reason. That's why I asked. So, just FYI, alright. Okay. Deploying syringe and healing. Alright, come on in. So, these boxes, not sure if you're aware, if they are open, they will actually blow up. They are full of dynamite. If you shoot them right now, nothing. But if they're open, like there was one right here, for example, that had an open case, that's what I shot. So things like that, things like that, for example, like that's a little known fact that not many people are aware of, that stuff like that actually goes boom. So if we had a firefight in this room for whatever reason, we had a stray bullet right here, that's an entire team killed. Because somebody decided that they, number one, that's why I teach it now so you know, but number two, because people didn't mention it. Just something to keep in mind. So, just in case if you didn't know. Yep, and most people when I do this don't. There's only been a couple people that do, and they've been playing with me for quite a while, so they know that stuff. But yeah, environmental stuff is a bit of a problem too. So, all right. So that's a stagger breach. So now we're gonna do a wing breach. So wing breach is what happens when you come across this situation. You got cover on one side, but not cover on the other. So what you do is you prep your breach just like similar but different to what you would have done before. I'm actually here. You know what? I'm gonna show you, just because I want you to see. One over here. Helo approaching from northeast. Helo flying overhead. All right. This box right here. Yeah, that's something different there. Yeah, so because they're open though, all these boxes around us, none of these, actually sorry, that one right there, that one will blow up. This one will blow up. So for example, if I were to just back up a little bit, let's shoot again. None of those other things blew up, eh? So, it's only these ones. Just as an interesting point, all open explosives do have a chance to go boom. Yeah. It's pretty good. We got hostiles. No, okay, no, they're gone. Perfect. Okay, so wing breach, as I was saying. So we got no cover on this side, but this door is cleared. So you can't do a staggered breach the same way, nor it's not as effective. So what you do is a wing breach. So one person will stack up by the door, one person will get behind them, and what we'll do is you breach. The order that you move in is like you're opening your wings. So the first person breaching will go to whichever side, you know, they need to breach on. So for me, it's this side. The next person will breach on the other side. You clear your side before you come and assist mine. So, for example, when I'm breaching in, I'm not even looking at anything that could potentially be a threat on this side, because that's your job. My job is almost to ignore that and walk in as if this is the only part I see, and then clear all this. And then that's my area of responsibility. Then you would hold this side, calling out anything that you see. And then if there's nothing there, you can go onto my side and face my side. And now, let's say I do have a threat. Now we got 2 guns on one. And 2 guns on one's a hell of a lot better odds. So, give that a shot. Again, we can use a flashbang if we want to, but we're not doing that right now, so I'm not going to bother. I showed it once. So, team lead would prepare. Team gets set to breach. Team wing breaching. On my go. 3, 2, breach. North door clear, east side door open. Exactly. And then exactly what you're doing there. Perfect. That's a wing breach. That's it. Super simple. Very situational, but super simple. We don't have to breach out here because we've already cleared it. So, those are the 2 breaches that I want everybody to know. Now, individually in your platoons, you may use something different. Maybe your team leader wants to teach you something different. Maybe they want you to try something different. That's up to them, but those 2 are standard among every platoon, every operator in this milsim. Make sense? Perfect. Do you want to go over anything that we've gone over so far? No? Alright, perfect. Heading back to the helo. Copy. Team lead getting in pilot seat. Perfect. Alright, so we're going to head to where now you get to show off your skills to me. So, you can put suppressors on your weapons. If you're in a seat, you need to aim the weapon. And then you can put stuff on. Left on the D-pad to put them on, I think. Because it's not, if you're trying, there you go. That's what's safe. If you were trying, it just wasn't showing. Same thing with your pistol, you need to aim before you can put anything on. Okay, so while we're on our way to the next location, do you know what a halo jump is? It's also sometimes called a helo jump. Do you know what helo or halo stands for? No problem, that's fine. Halo is what we use, H-A-L-O, high altitude, low opening. So, for terms of this milsim, helo, by the way, is high elevation, low opening. Same thing, different word. So, for a halo jump, for purposes of here, you will jump on from 800 meters to 1,000 meters or higher. That's considered a halo jump, because you have a fair amount of time before you hit the ground. Typically, it's going to be above like 1.2, 1.5 clicks anyway, so you're always going to be 1,000 meters at least above the ground, or whatever your target is. So, low opening. The low opening, that's the high altitude portion. Now, the low opening portion. The low opening, I can do this and pull my chute 20 meters from the ground and still successfully land and not die. I don't expect you guys to do that. If you get to that skill level, awesome. Beautiful. That's amazing. If you don't, that's fine. What I do expect to see, though, is I expect to see chute openings of between 150 and 200 meters. Gets you close enough to the ground, but with that you can get into the fight right quick. But it also gives you time to orient yourself. Now, if you're better at aiming where your body's going to land, I'd like to see 1 to 150 meters. If you can do lower than that, amazing. Fantastic. That'd be mint. So, that's a halo jump. Keeping all I expect to see is 1 to 200 meters. I expect you to let me know when you're deploying your chute, because that can be important. Again, part of the communication thing. So, the other thing that I'm going to mention, this is where, like I said earlier, the positioning counts. Let's say you're our team's sniper, and you really need to set up your sniper nest first before we get in there. Let's say we had 2 other people on the right-hand side. I'm not going to call them to jump. I'm going to call left 2, jump, get your position. Now, you would go somewhere. Let me know when you set your sniper position up, so the other 2 people don't jump down and screw it up for you. Again, that's my decision as a team leader. I could also easily say, well, hopefully you guys don't screw it up, all of you jump. I could do that, right? Doesn't matter. It's whatever the team lead wants. But if I want a more tactical approach, I'm going to say, sniper, get ready to jump, go and deploy, get to your location. Once you're there, radio, then we'll jump. So, in this in this one, all we're going to do is I gave you your target. Alpha's your target. So this is your objective. I want you to go down there, land on Alpha, secure 4 targets, kill them silently, capture an HVT. So HVTs, for the purposes of this milsim, are Red Hat commanders, radio operators, and bagmen. I want you to get one of them after you've killed 4 targets, not before, after, and bring them to me. Once you bring them to me, you are cleared to secure the base however you want. Loud, quiet, whatever you want to do. But I want to see you use your stealth and secure those 4 targets in the HVT first. You'll be starting from Alpha Point, and I'm going to take the helicopter. I'm not going to assist you at all. This is you're on your own pretty much from now on for the rest of the course. So I'm just going to basically watch you with the drone, so don't mind me. I'm just going to watch. It's going to be on you to show off what skills you got. Okay. Do you need any questions or any clarification on anything? Alright, good enough. L2, left 2, cleared to jump. Copy that. Team lead descending, approaching on Alpha, 1 click out. Approaching from bearing 270 and 250. Copy that, good luck. Landing on southwest side of Hilo. So good comms, just want you to consider one thing. Right to you, depending on the position, might not be right to me. Now, in this case it is. But if we were on two opposite sides, you saying right doesn't mean my right. Good luck.
Still looking. So far, I got nothing. Hostiles have infiltrated the area. Stay alert. We may have enemies nearby. Roger that. Control com. I don't think we're alone. They gotta be nearby. Bad guys in the area. I can feel it. I don't think we're alone. They gotta be nearby. How strange is that? Let's go look. All right, I'll go hostile drone! Danger close! Hostile contact! I got something for him. Contact! Central, we have troops in contact. Requesting backup to our location. Over.
My general rule of thumb that I tell everybody: you're a great player, but we're gonna make you the best. You're already a good player. We're gonna make you better. Thanks, baby. Thank you. Love you too. Yeah, copy that. I've got eyes on him. You're gonna be able to move him back here anyway. So you're good to drop him. All right, you're good to clear base now. However you want. Copy that. I'm just eating dumplings. Don't mind me.
Keep your focus, man. Got him.
Copy that. When you think you've cleared the base, just fire a couple unsuppressed shots.
Don't let these pricks out of here. Keep your heads down. We're not done.
That's one way to do it.
Keep your heads down. We're not done.
I don't want to leave. Mom's only working 2 hours this afternoon, so. Like this money? 2, yeah. Mommy's not working till 4:30. I got fuck you. That.
Copy that. Descending to. I'm going to descend near the thing here. Alright, heal it down. Perfect. Copy. Good work. Okay. So a couple things with that. The only reason really you were spotted is your drone. However, you are the first person that I haven't played with consistently that has done the generator thing. So good on you. That was smart. That was smart. So good. Yeah, no, 100%. Smart tactical move. Now, obviously you did get spotted during that beforehand. However, everything else is pretty good. And you still got the HVT while under fire, so good job. Alright, so final, second last thing that we're going to do. This is the shooting course. This is designed to test your shooting ability, as well as, well, that's the best way I can describe it. I'm thinking of another way, but that's it. This is your shooting. This is the shooting test. So what we have to do first, we got to clear the base. So I'm satisfied based on what I saw that you generally know what you're doing. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this thing down. I don't care how this base is cleared. We just need to clear this. So I'm going to let you go off on your own. And I'm going to let you secure whatever side you want. I'm going to keep my suppressor on. And yeah, all I want is I just want this base cleared because we need to use the facility here. So. Okay. No, drones are turned off. So drones for us are reduced. Otherwise, they would be here. Yes. I got one target right there. Target down on the north. All right. Yeah, copy. If you wanna clear that, I'm gonna clear the rest of the training center. Yeah, I'm gonna go down. I'm also gonna remove this, deactivate this mortar just in case. I'm gonna start securing the east side. Yeah, there is no, well, if we get spotted, it would be, is what I deactivate it for. But there is rarely a sniper here. Yep. Yeah, it's very, very rarely a sniper around. I think I've maybe seen it once. Copy that. I got multiple targets. Alpha's down. I got multiple targets on the northeast side of the compound. On the lower end, at least 4 grouped up. One is moving away.
Mom's gonna be back in 2 hours.
Yeah, copy that. So in terms of, just so you're aware, in terms of like promotions and stuff, pretty much like a main reason that you would get like demoted is killing a civilian. So try not to kill them if you can. Alright, I'm taking out Alpha. Oh. Literally just said that, and it was actually a civilian that wasn't even on my screen and just appeared when I shot someone. It happens.
We did.
Copy that.
I'll check, okay?
Copy that. I'm still securing the south end, the bottom end here. I got one heavy. Heavy down. Yep, there we go. Heavy's down. Alright. Location secured on the bottom. Drone is out. Copy that. Getting 2 unsuppressed shots. Final target eliminated. Double checking. 2 unsuppressed shots. Alright. We're good to go. Perfect. I'm just going to go and secure the civilians that are in here. All good. Alright. So make sure you have some ammo. And I'm going to go up to the top half. And we'll start I'll go over this with you.
He'll tell you, okay? Just ask him. If you wonder, okay?
Alright. Yeah, copy that. We'll ignore it for now unless it comes right behind us. Come on over by Alpha Point here. Are you invisible? Is this more invisible shit on my screen? Oh, sorry. Yeah, you are. This Alpha. My bad. North side of the training center. Nope, that was just for the... I thought I took it off. That's my bad. Alright, this Alpha Point. Getting real annoyed that that civilian showed up for no reason. Alright. Well, that happens. On BCT it's kind of clear, but in the actual milsim you'd be demoted for that kind of thing. So, alright. So, we got, so you take off all your attachments that you may or may not have on the firearm. Make sure it's a stripped gun. Take off your suppressor. Everything. Is your gun stripped right now? Okay, okay. Then I have then I've got a consistent glitch that's showing your attachments on it. I mean, that sounds pretty standard by now, so. Yes. Alright. No, I believe you. It's being weird for me. Anyway, that's all good. So, okay, so there's a rifle component and a pistol component. Now, yes, it is nighttime. However, I have had people do this in both daytime and nighttime. 100% doable. So, I'm going to show you your targets. Then I'm going to show you what I want to see. And then you'll do it. So, targets. Target 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not necessarily in that order. You can shoot them in whatever order you want. Target 8. Target 9. Target 10. And then this is the end. Yeah, yeah, it is. Give me a second. I gotta find. There it is. Yeah, there we go. Perfect. Yeah, I usually try and take those out. So, those are the targets. Those are all your targets, all 10. You have 3 shots per target, 2 body shots and a headshot. So, come on over here. Alright, I'm going to show you what I expect. So, for body shots, for headshots, that's all I expect to see. So, those 2 body shots would have counted for 2 points each for a total of 4. Headshot is 3. Now, a couple things to note. I'm the one live streaming. At this moment, you're not, as far as I know. So, that shot, for example, right on the line, but it's a little bit closer to the inside point, so I will count it on the inside. These shots, though, those are on the outer edge of the inner perimeter. Those are only worth 1 point. You still get points for chest shots, but they're halved. Same with the headshots, however, if you miss a headshot, you miss the points. It's either headshot or nothing. So, on the right-hand target, for example, that would be worth 2 points, as an example. So, again, because I'm the one live streaming, the shots and where they land is up to me. It is not up to you. If you were live streaming, then, and you saw a shot that was placed differently, I would go by that. But if you aren't live streaming, I'm just confirming, I don't think you are. Exactly. Okay. So if you were, you could argue it if you lost points from it, but you don't need to do that. Otherwise, it is my call ultimately what all of these are going to be. So in the event that you get like a perfect middle shot, see if I can make one, something like that, that's entirely up to me on where it lands. Entirely my call. So I'll make that distinction. So for the rifle course, you can have a maximum of 70 points, 10 targets, 7 points each. What I would like to see for a standard for us is 55 points. So you can miss you can miss the equivalent of 5 headshots. Is what I'm fine with. So, a couple other things before we start, and this is for the pistol course when we do it as well. You will do this entire course aiming down your sights in first person. So you'll be first person the entire time. You will shoot targets, all the targets. Now, this target is the exception. When you shoot this target, you will sprint up to this piece of cover. Then you must go back to first person to shoot all these targets here. That's the only exception. So, when you're first person, there is no shooting on the move. When you make a shot, you make it from a standing position. So I do not want to see this. I want to see aim, got my target. I want to see that. Okay? So, again, this is just a standard. This is a test to see where you're at. So I'm going to get a timer because you are going to have, let's see, you are going to have 90 seconds to do this whole thing. Okay, again, just a standard, just want to see where you're at. So, I'm also going to do shooting sequence, so I'm going to say weapon ready. So you can, from this starting line, aim, get in first person, and aim right at your first target if you want to. I don't mind. You're good to start that. I'll ask shooter ready. You'll give me a yes or no, whatever it is. I will say weapons hot. When I say weapons hot, you'll start. Once you're done, I'll say course complete. Or course of fire done, whatever it happens to be. Okay? Alright. Perfect. Weapon ready. Shooter ready. Weapons hot. So remember your 2 body shots and a headshot. All 3, yep. So, you start back here. Just because I didn't know if, apparently I didn't make that, I thought I made that clear. I guess I suppose I didn't. So, I'll stop this, we'll reset. Now, you do already have shots on this one made and the first target, but that's fine. That's okay. Just ignore those and do 3 new shots. So, it is 2 body shots, 1 headshot, all 10 targets, all the way up. Okay? Alright, weapon ready. Shooter ready. Weapons hot. Good. Right, and remember to stop moving when you shoot, but good. Yep, that's okay. It's all good. Make sure you're on single shot. There you go. All right, weapons clear. Okay, so you did that in 1 minute 15 seconds. Let's tally up your points. 7. 14. I guess I can call that one good. 21. 25. Missed a headshot. 32. 39. 46. You missed this target. 53. 60. Good work. Nice. So, 60 out of 70 points. Good job. So, good shooting. Like, super good shooting. Like, really, really good. Yeah, just make sure you're double checking all those targets. And I didn't mention it, so that's on me. This is what happens when you go off night shift and haven't slept for 36 hours. You forget things. So you should have ideally, and again, this is on me. You would have done this in only 1 clip. So you would have taken all 10 shots and any missed targets at the end of it. For example, when you reloaded, you actually reload at the end. You need to make sure that your full clip is used. So, but again, that's on me. I forgot to mention it. So, and you had good shots, so I'll do the 60 out of that. So, all right. So this is the final phase of the shooting course. This is the pistol course. So same thing, exactly the same thing I want to see. 2 body shots and a headshot. You have 7 targets this time. Still worth 7 points. Max 49. I want to see 40. And again, you're closer with these targets. So this, and you've got to be in first person. So the targets you're going to do are target 1, target 2, target 3, and target 4, not necessarily in that order. You'll do a reload here. And I do a demo of this one just so you see. Target 5. Stop at this line. Target 6. Do a reload, sprinting up to this. Target 7. So we'll start at the back. I will go ahead and I will do a demo on this one, and I'll show you everything that I want to see. Again, pretty easy, not going to be hard. You have 70 seconds to do this one. So, all right. So, same thing as before. Weapon ready. I'm getting my weapon up. I'm getting ready. I'm aiming at the target. Shooter ready. Yes, I'm ready to go. Weapons hot. Starting up. Still in first person. Now, in this case, I'm going to shoot this target. So I'm going to do 1, 2. This is why I want you to have 9 rounds. 3. Do a reload. Continue on. Still stopping. Continuing on. Stopping at this line. 1, 2, 3. Sprint on up. Reload. 1, 2, and 3. Alright. That headshot at the end is the only one I'm not sure of for my points, but I should. Yep, so for me, for example, that one, I would count that as in. It's still in the middle, but I would count that as in, just as I was count that for you as in. So, let's see the points. 7. 14. 21. 28. 35. 42. And 49. That's a max. So, that's what I want to see. Again, exactly the same concept. 2 body shots, 1 headshot, all 7 targets. I will tell you when I want you to reload as well. So you don't have to really consider that. You just have to listen to me, but it will be after your 3rd target. Whichever one you decide to shoot of those 2 that are just around that corner. Alright, weapon ready. Shooter ready. 70 seconds on the clock. Weapons hot. Good. Reloaded. Good. Reload and sprint up. Take your final shots. Alright, weapons clear. Let me go and double check this. Yeah, right on my target. That counts for you. That's 49 out of 49. Good work. Nice shooting. And you completed that in 53.66 seconds. So you had plenty of time. Very good. All right. So that's the end of the shooting course there. Main thing to take out of that is, particularly with the rifle course, make sure you're checking your targets. Obviously, you only did it once. You didn't do a practice round. I get that. That's fine. Main thing to go forward, though, again, you know what that course is like now. So if you want to do it for some practice, go right ahead. All right. Team leader and pilot seat. Copy that. Alright, heading on to Alpha. Okay. Not sure if you've done this or not. And we'll confirm if you have or not when we get closer. This is going to be probably the hardest part of your BCT. So you're going to need to focus. Alright, so on Alpha Point, do you see anything that's there? Is there anything for you? Copy. So there's nothing directly in front of us right now on the hill? Alright. Okay. Setting helo down, pilot getting out. Alright. So, this is your hardest task and your final task, the BCT. Find the patch of dirt and plant your tree. So, not sure if you were aware of this. However, this is a event that they had on. Now, when it was going on, what was happening was if you planted a tree here, and thus got the trophy for it or the emblem for it, the developers would plant or pay for a tree to be planted in real life. I don't know if this is still a thing. However, I like to think it is. So I like everybody to end on this note. So, you now have a big old tree that will grow in about 4 or 5 in-game days. You can come back to it. It will show up as like a green circle on the map. And you can go and come on down to the bivouac, whatever, and come visit it. It's actually really cool looking. So, what we're going to do is I'm going to get you to stand right around there and face me. I already have my tree here, so. Alright, do a nice pose. Say cheese. Alright, screenshot taken. Just for confirmation of BCT clearing, and that's it. You're done your BCT. So, we do this on stream. Just for the final little bit of it, so you can fast travel to Erewhon whenever you like, and then the rest of BCT will finish off stream. So, I'm going to go over what you did good and bad. So, there's very little bad. For the most part, it's actually just take your time. You were very, very quick on clearing the base when you needed to, when you had that option at the center there. However, and I'm not sure if you're aware of this or not, I'm assuming by destroying or sabotaging the generator you are, but by sabotaging the generator, it automatically brings targets towards you. So by going deeper into the base, you actually put yourself in a really rough position because you now don't have any area to like retreat from. The only way you can go is into more targets. So, like, if you sabotage, and generally if you destroy a generator, they'll go orange line, and they'll have some issues. But if you go yellow line on your compass, then all that happens is they start looking for you when you sabotage the generator, and they automatically will go to the generator to try and, like, secure that, basically, to figure out what's going on. But you had a good idea, and the only issue, really, you actually probably wouldn't have been spotted if it wasn't for your drone. Which is fine. It is what it is. Learn from next time, but otherwise good. I really have no other concerns there. You're actually the first person so far to note the sniper on the helipad in the back. Most people don't find him, so I thought that was really good. That's basically it for the bad. Is honestly, other than the shooting range with the missing that one target, which is just. Make sure you're checking all your sides, because if you're clearing a base, you need to make sure you're checking everything, right? Because you might be on your own, Or if you're with a team, that might be your team's lives, right? So, but I mean, other than that, like you passed the shooting course. You got 60, good solid shots, and you passed the pistol course with flying colors. So, and you showed, number one, communication was solid. That was great. Stealth up until you got spotted there was actually pretty good. Like you waited, you were patient. When you first went in there, you had one target. I thought you were going to take him, but then you had a second one come out, and you took them both out there. Didn't get spotted. So I thought that was fantastic. As far as I'm concerned, you've hit what I want you to hit. So I'm okay granting you PFC. Personally, I'm okay granting you that rank. I think you did good, and I think what the skill level that you displayed warranted that.
You ever see this coming?
So the last thing that we're going to do, I know you have it in your recruit information, but I just want to confirm your call sign. Do you still want to be called Metal? Now it says Metal 01 there. This is kind of my last check for you guys. Are you sure you want that to be your call sign? Or would you like to change it to something different right now? Metal 01? Okay. So, just because you may... we may use like 01, 02 for different squads, your call sign will just be Metal. Okay? Alright. So, Private First Class, Metal. Good job. Welcome in. Fantastic work. All right, and you did that in an hour and 14 minutes. Awesome. Good work, buddy. Ending the broadcast.